mystery. An empire unparalleled in conquest and riches.
Obviously takes military skill.
Cyrus the Great.
They had to learn how to farm, in particular how to cultivate this fertile Iranian plateau. But to do that, they needed a source of water.
Finding water meant traveling long distances. It fell to a hybrid engineer, geologist and diviner called a Mogani to figure out how to bring it back to his people. Using nothing more than stone chisels, Moganis would build the first cornerstone of the Persian Empire. A breakthrough system of underground irrigation canals called The angle of the slope was crucial. 1 unit in elevation for every 100 on the horizontal.
Not too steep.
Darius hit the ground running. He began by rebuilding the old but the new king of Persia
A nomadic people. They lived in tented
during his most ambitious projects to enhance the empire's monuments and infrastructure. Darius never stopped expanding his empire.
Under the brilliant leadership of Darius, the Persian
building project.
Tiny rocks. Laying down a stone road is vital in a terrain where there could be a high water table. You don't want to get your feet stuck in the mud. You don't want to get your cart stuck in the mud. So you have to raise the road surface up. That means laying down some kind of surface initially that will either absorb the groundwater or not allow the groundwater to displace the road.
Its great length.
Now,
a reduced Greek force attacked the Persians head-on. The Persians went for an easy kill. But the remaining Greek forces had split into two and opened 2 other fronts against the Persians. Sucked into a bloody slaughter pit, the Persians suffered heavy losses and retreated. For the Greeks, it was a great victory. For the Persians...
Remember, we're dealing with the hooves of tens of thousands of cavalry, including armored cavalry, which would have been much, much...
480 BC, the Greeks had defeated the Persian fleet at Thermopylae. The aura of invincibility that Alexander declared himself an Achaemenid Persian king and added the final chapter to the story of an empire that had spanned 3 continents and endured for over 2,700 years.
Alexander, admirer of Persian kings, chased down the murderers of Darius and killed them himself. Alexander believed that only kings had the right to kill kings. But would have Alexander actually killed Darius? Probably not, because Alexander didn't create an empire, he only conquered one. The empire already existed, created by Cyrus the Great. No, Alexander's genius was to co-opt and use Persia, an empire that stood long before Alexander was born, and whose legacy of culture and sophistication and luxury would be around long after Alexander was dead. For the History Channel, I'm Peter Weller.